So your question is, how did you respond positively to any criticism in your group?
Mostly I would tell them to gain evidence to back up the point of the criticism, because the construction of the bridge was crucial to our main goal. So they'll have to find
Enough reasons,
Yeah.
isn't it? And if it's a constructive criticism, it's good for the structure. Yeah.
If it's good for the structure, then I'll happily accept it. But
Yeah.
if it's critical,
If it's just for to criticize you, it's not acceptable. So how would you deal with that then?
I'll mostly be positive and ask them to gain evidence to back up their point.
Okay. Right. Anybody else in your group has got any point to say about that? How do you respond positively?
Responding to this, looking at the code of conduct, I would say I would speak to the individual, my colleague, and I will ask them for as Zeke said, evidence of why they want to add this in. I will.
Yeah. So what was your role in this team?
My role, I took upon myself to be the product manager.
Product manager. So eventually it's your responsibility, isn't it, how the product is made?
It's my responsibility to see how everything fits in together, how the product will finish,
Okay.
and how everyone communicates.
Can you tell me a little bit about the plan of the bridge building?
The plan, our architect here, his innovative designs are what caused our project, the foundation of our project to come out. So we gained ideas and knowledge from everyone in our team to see what they think the bridge should be like, and we came to a positive conclusion of how it should be.
Okay, all right. Okay. Right, hello. Can I ask you, what was your plan to complete the activity on time?
Well, the project manager was the person who devised the plan. So the first.
Who was the project manager in your
Mo.
group? Okay.
The first two lessons were mainly just planning the idea of the bridge and the structure of it. The next two lessons was actually making the bridge. So we started creating the poles and structures of it. And obviously we had help from the finance manager and the architecture that helped us design it.
Okay, so that you can finish it on time. Yeah. Was there any problem that you couldn't finish on time?
Well, there wasn't many problems. And if there was a problem, it was probably down to the fact that people weren't working hard enough.
Yeah. So what did you do to sort it out?
To sort it out, we would help motivate them. And also, if we had finished what we were doing, we'd help them finish what they were doing as well.
Yeah, okay. So everybody has got some roles to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so you offer your help to them as well. Okay. Okay, then thank you so much. Okay. Okay, Paul, my question to you is, how do you think that you have contributed to the team?
Well, I was the lead scientist in our group, and when I contributed, I did all the measurements and designed the structure of the bridge that we wanted.
Is that your strength particularly?
I think, yeah, it is my strength.
Okay, so you've chosen the rule, or they have given you the rule?
I chose the role.
You chose the role, okay, then. So that was your contribution. What about Dixon? What was your contribution?
I was the financial director who managed the group funds. This was because I was particularly good at maths in the group, and I used the maths to manage.
So did you have to buy every paper that you used? A paper or sellotape or the material that you've used?
Oh, we had to buy a bit more paper and a lot of tape to complete the bridge.
Do you blame the designer for this, or what was the reason that you had to buy extra, more than the planning?
It's because the bridge was quite big in size and it was quite steady, and the design made it that it was quite strong to make.
Okay, so how was your individual performance in the team, Jay?
Personally, I think my individual performance was okay. I led the team to a successful bridge, but I didn't do everything perfectly.
What you could have done to improve?
In order to improve, I should have used my financial director, listened to him more, because we spent the highest amount of money on tape.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was necessary to do.
That was necessary to do. So maybe if the designing was a little bit better, you would have done. So what was the problem? Did you not use a triangular structure?
I did not use a triangular structure in our design. I was relying on the lead scientist and the architect to do that, which I
Okay.
shouldn't have done. I should have listened to them more.
Okay. So as a team, do you think that that was not a very good effect on the team, is it?
I should have listened to my teammates more and not relying on them. I should have helped them with the project instead of just bossing them around.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you. It's Imad. Is my next question to you is that can you tell me that what are the ways in which your team as a whole performed effectively?
In the bridge making task, we all worked effectively, and we respected each other, and we were very open-minded to listen to other people's comments and constructive criticism on the on different tasks that we were doing. And everyone in the group.
So what is your role as
So my role was I was a project manager, and I made sure everyone was in line and worked most effectively to complete their role. And I also especially helped Sarukan, the architect, actually construct the building.
so you offered your help to him,
Yeah.
and how was he accepting it?
Yeah, he accepted it and listened to my constructive criticism.
Yeah, so if they accept each other, then as a whole team performs well, isn't it?
Yeah, they work most effectively when everyone's respecting each other and working together.
Okay, my next question is to Anik. Can you tell me what was your role and how you individually contributed to the performance of the team?
I was the finance manager, and my job was to make sure that the less amount we could buy, like the more saving we could have, and I think I did quite well in that. But then there was kind of we spent more than I expected to, because the first main thing of our bridge that was holding it up wasn't very stable, so we needed to rebuild it, and then we wasted a lot of tape on that.
Okay.
So we had to buy quite amount of
Quite
tape.
amount of so that was obviously there was a bit of argument between the team, isn't it? Why do you
But
change
we
your plan?
Eventually sorted it out.
You eventually sorted it out. Now, as we are talking about sorting out, can I move on to Sarukan? And can I ask you, Sarukan, how did you respond positively to advice and any constructive criticism? Because Imad mentioned about the constructive criticism. How did you handle it?
Ahmad, it was all a teamwork where they said not to fix the bridge. Like first time we did, I was the architect, so I did many mistakes where the balance would keep on slanting. So Ahmad had to tell me to make the legs more steady and stable, and then.
So you're okay to accept
Yeah.
the help? Yeah, that should be the case, isn't it? Ideally, to improve on any teamwork. Can I come to Shaji? Were you in the same group, Shaji?
Yes.
Yes. So what was your role?
My role was lead scientist, and in my group I had to think of ideas that kept the bridge aesthetically pleasing and made it support the whole structure. So we came up with thin tubes and triangle shapes
Yeah.
to make our bridge stand.
Yeah.
And we made a balanced weight bridge so that it wasn't too heavy on one side. And we made the length long enough for it to last.
So do you think that you became a lead scientist? Do you think that is a particular strength in you?
Yeah.
How did you assess that? How did you know that you are you're not a better project manager but a better lead scientist?
Because in the first lesson we put all our strengths together and we tried to see who was good at what.
Okay.
And we all communicated to see what we're good at.
Okay,
So,
that's
in
really
that-
good. Now, my next question to you is, did you manage to finish on time?
we managed to finish our bridge in time, and
Yeah.
we managed to carry the max amount of weight that we had to. And the bridge was quite strong.
Yeah.
And
So, do you think absence could have been an issue if someone was absent on one of the occasions and then you didn't know what to do?
sometimes people were out of the lessons, and we had to adjust ourselves so we could fit in their roles.
Okay, right. Okay, then thank you so much. That's very good. Adjust ourselves to fit into their roles. That's really good, team spirit. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Question goes to Newton. Can you tell me what are the areas in your team that you could improve your teamwork skills?
In our team, there were no we don't have a good plan, and the plan was always changing all the time. Everyone giving ideas, and everyone was this should be right. This is not right. There should be this thing. So we didn't have any plan to go on with.
So the planning could have improved
Yeah,
the teamwork
so
skills. Yeah.
We were there to sit together and decide what is the final plan.
Yeah. So
And
what was your role in the team?
I was the lead scientist to
Yeah.
manage.
As far as
everything.
I can remember, your team became first, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won.
So what was the positive points about your product?
We used thin tubes which were more stronger than others.
Yeah,
I
and the
think those
smallest
rules-
number of tubes.
Yeah, we even used less paper, and our bridge was stronger because of those thin tubes.
Yeah.
And I think that.
Right. So can I move on to some other member of your team? Maybe Effie, can you tell me what you could have done so that it could improve the teamwork skills? You became first anyway, so obviously, for obvious reason, I can consider that your team was best team. But what else you could have done to even make it better?
We could have discussed what we wanted to do more. So as Nitin said, we kept wanting to change ideas, but if we had sat down and had a group discussion about what we wanted to build and what we
So
wanted
you
to
also
simplify.
think that planning would have been a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So can I ask you that can you have already told me the way that you could improve, but can I ask you, Bhomik, what was your individual role in the performance of the team?
Well, I gave the structure of the bridge to the
Yeah.
team. So
Mhm.
we had a simple structure, but inside the infrastructure was weak, so I made the infrastructure strong.
How did you make that?
Well, we used triangles and squares. combined.
Triangles and squares as well. Yeah.
Combined.
So you made the square and put one in the middle so
Yeah.
that it become two triangles. Yes. Okay. So that helped to build the structure. Okay then. Thank you so much. Okay. My question to Javed and your group. Can you tell me what was your role in the group?
My role was a lead scientist, so what I did was I would, after the bridge was done, I would see if there was flaws with it, and then I would
After
address
the
it
bridge was done or before the bridge was done?
before the bridge or in the making of the bridge.
Making of
If I saw a flaw or problem with the quality of it, I would address it and then we would fix it.
You'll fix it, okay? What you could have done to improve the teamwork skills, and question goes to Mohammed Malika.
We could have cooperated more and started the work earlier, as for the first 2 weeks we were still planning it
Mhm.
and getting our resources. So we should have started at a
Immediate
stage in
action,
time,
isn't it?
yeah.
The quick planning and then start building. So as you go on, you will understand what is the problem. Right. So what was your individual contribution?
I was the architect, and my first idea wasn't accepted as a group. So after.
So how did you react to that?
Well, I just started to make a new one, because the lead scientist Javid told me that the flaws in the idea and how we shouldn't do this.
Yeah. So
Then we started a new one.
and you agreed with it?
I agreed.
You agreed with it, and that helped, isn't it, to improve the team to achieve. Now, about the roles and responsibilities, we were discussing about the lead scientist and project manager and etc. How did you agree on that? And question goes to John.
On the
first lesson of the bridge, we had a group discussion of what our weakness and strengths were, and depending on our weaks and strengths, we chose each roles, and everyone got the role I think they wanted.
They wanted. That's good. That's extremely important because it's their choices. Right, now can I ask you as well about this, how did you offer help and support to the other team members?
Well, Mohammed needed help with the structure, so I helped him. So I held the paper, and then he cut sellotape and he put it on.
Oh, right. Okay, then that's fine. And Mohammed was happy with it, isn't it? Okay, that's fine. Right, Uchman, can you tell me how did you contribute to the team?
So I was the architect who had to draw the bridge.
Yeah.
And like put it together so it would stay up, and the weight that would at the end when we finished it, the weight that would be on top, it would see how much it could take.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to make it strong from the bottom, and the scientist had to help me measure and weigh how much it can take.
Yeah. So so that was your role, contribute to the team's objective, isn't it? And can I ask you this question? How did you identify the relevant ideas and suggestions from others that will enable the team to complete the task?
I made sure that everyone's ideas will be part of it, and so everyone will feel happy, and so we just tested out everyone's ideas to see which one will suit best.
Okay, that's good. Right, so how did you respond to the constructive criticism?
We responded by either taking out or adding something to the initial design. For example, we took out these underflaps because they were unnecessary to the design and they were going to waste paper for us.
Okay, that's quite. Can I ask your team, Ezekiel, how do you assess advantages of having a team complete the task?
The way I see it is that in our case, since we have 5 people, I see it as 5 brains are working simultaneously to focus on one idea, which means the 5 brains merge into one brain, making a complex and massive idea.
Yeah, massive idea, and it's quite developed.
And it goes 5 times faster since there are more hands, so you gain more progress than a single individual.
That's true. Okay, thank you. Can I move on to Liam for any disadvantages in the team?
The disadvantages of teamwork is that some people are very antisocial, so they're better at working alone. Also, that there may be arguments.
Yeah, some people just like arguments, isn't it? And they don't want to contribute. So, is there anyone in your team who was like that? No?
No.
No. But you are just saying that generally it can happen like that. So, advantages. Anyone else want? Right. My question to your team, and can I ask you, Ilham, can you tell me what are the disadvantages of working in a team?
You might not be able to finish on time because some people might mess about, and some people might not be happy with their roles because they might be forced to take the role because no one else can take it.
Because there was no one else, so they have to take it. That'll be the disadvantages. Right. What was your code of conduct? And question goes to Afzal.
Code of conduct was we shouldn't mess around, and we always finished the work on time. And if someone was absent, we had to fill them in.
Mm-hmm. So how did you do that?
Because in our group, one person had a dentist appointment that day, so because that was the architect, we had to build it, and then we had to fill in the architect the next week. So
Okay.
he could continue.
So that was code of conduct, that if someone is absent, someone else will cover for that role.
Yeah.
Okay. And did that help to improve the team's
yeah,
performance?
Because they didn't really come that often, but then we kept on filling them in, so at the end our bridge was good.
Okay. Now, question to you, Elisha. If anyone doesn't agree with the code of conduct or doesn't follow, what would you do? What was your consequences that your team decides?
Well, we would kind of ask them why they didn't agree with it, and then we would sit down and like discuss what their problem is with it, and if they still like misbehave and don't want to do it, then we'll like get a teacher to tell them off.
So yeah, asking teacher probably will be one of the options, isn't it? Right. So, and my next question is, how did you decide the role in the team? And question goes to you. Okay, go on.
We decided the role by like what everyone wanted. Like Ilham wanted to be the product manager, so we let him.
Yeah. So anybody wants to be a product manager, you want to
and
let
then
them do.
From there, he like decided what they wanted to do and tried to make it work.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Manuel, can you tell me what were the code of conduct in your team?
The code of conduct was to be able to accept criticism professionally between our whole group. It was to give ideas, and this would help us with our behavior, our conduct of behavior.
Because everybody's getting a chance, yeah?
Yes, yes. Also, we need to, in the code of conduct, we need to consult decisions as a group and carry out agreed
Very good.
responsibilities between each other.
Yeah, so everybody equally responsible for each decision
Yes.
you made. Okay, Shaji, can you tell me what are the code of conduct and what would have been the consequence if someone doesn't obey that?
A code of conduct is when a team works together and every member contributes. Like everyone is helping and can take the help that other people give them and accept constructive criticism. And they can consult with other team members about what they should do and carry out agreed responsibilities.
Okay, and what will be the consequence if they don't do that?
Well, if people don't follow the code of conduct, then it could cause like arguments in a group and people would get angry and maybe leave. So people have to like try to behave and follow the code of conduct, or else your team could fall behind.
Okay, right. Anything else?
No.
No, if it goes too much, what did you do?
If it goes too much, you should either like tell a teacher to remove them from a group, or
Okay.
like you move group.
You move groups. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.